Okay, so a couple of people more join this call. So welcome, anyone. We are ready to start. Thank you very much for every one of you that is joining this call, where we want to inform and to tell all the community of Meta Pool what is happening with the Meta Pool DAO. As you know, we started with the decentralization of the protocol in another level this past month, where we decided to take all our fees and put this to the voting of the community. So very happy with the results from the first voting round that we presented past week. You can see the recording where is all the topic, is all the information around how voting round number one went. I think the most important thing is that we have two initiatives that were funded by the Meta Pool DAO and are in progress to be executed. One of those is, both of them are by people that are here. One is by March One, the other one is by Crypto Rocks. So thank you very much for joining this call and see what is happening on this voting round number two. So yesterday we started the voting round number two with a total of 8 proposed initiatives for the Meta Pool DAO. So these initiatives are requesting funding from the fees that are generated by Meta Pool, and the Meta holders, the Meta governance token that is provided by Meta Pool to decentralize its protocol, is the way in which people is voting right now on the DAO. So not more than that, I'm going forward to start explaining which are these 8 initiatives that are presented. So the first one is Meta Pool Workshop and Staking Contest in Ho Chi Minh City. I hope to mention that correctly. If not, you can correct me. This is proposed by one of our ambassadors, by Tony, that is based on Vietnam. The region is Asia, and the amount he requested is $700. And you can all these initiatives. Right in the bottom, you can find a QR code that will send you directly to the initiative, and you can vote there. If you're interested to vote by any of these, you can even take a snapshot, and later you can scan these QR codes. Second is Science at the Bar, DeFi Education with Meta Pool, proposed by Open Web Academy in Latin America, and the amount that requested this community was $785, and you can find also here the QR code. The third one is Meta Pool attending the Philippine Blockchain Week breakout, proposed by another of our ambassadors, that is Ro. Ro is based on Asia, and he requested the amount of $420 for this initiative. He's in Asia and most proper in Philippines. The fourth one that we have is Woman in the crypto space, bridging the knowledge gap in NEAR, Aurora, and Meta Pool. This is proposed by Crypto Epic Queen, a community of women building the Web3 and teaching other women around what is happening in technology. The region is Latin America. They request a minimum amount of $450 and a full amount of $550. The next one is education of blockchain, cryptos, and DeFi with Meta Pool in Colombia and Latin America. This is proposed by one of our ambassadors. That is maybe you can know him as Blockchain Machine. That is active here in this call. It's important to mention this is a second chance as proposed in the guidelines of the governance of Meta Pool. Everyone, all the initiatives that are not funded in the first round that they participate have a second chance to get the enough amounts in both voting rounds in the accumulated total that they got for funding their initiatives. So Andres, or Blockchain Machine specifically, he have an accumulated for the first round, and he's now just looking for the resting amount of funding pending to execute this initiative in this second chance. So thank you, Blockchain Machine, for participating in this second chance. This is proposed by Andres or Blockchain Machine in Latin America, and the amount requested is a minimum of $600 and a full of $800. And you can see in the reports of the voting round number 1 how many is the amount that is already accumulated by this initiative. Next one is additional marmaj and stNEAR farm rewards. This is proposed by marmaj Foundation. For those of you that are active in the NEAR ecosystem, maybe you know these are one of the OGs that is around NEAR protocol, and marmaj is focused on teaching and they are making tasks of education in that region of the Caribbean, and they are doing this through the centralized protocols, and now they are participating now with us, with Meta Pool, to request funding. One important thing to mention is that the pool that they are mentioning, that is marmaj and stNEAR, is one of the biggest pools that is active on Refinance. Refinance is the main decentralized exchange of NEAR protocol. So it's a very important initiative that we are happy to have on this voting round. The amount they requested is a minimum amount of $400 and a full amount of $819. Sorry around that, but doesn't matter. The next one is an educational online program and in real life meetup in Mexico City, proposed by criptomonedas. The region is Latin America, and the amount they requested is $800. While talking a little bit more about these guys, they won a hackathon track of Meta Pool in Monterrey, Mexico. So that's how we knew about them, and they were interested to participate now in this voting round. And they have an interesting project that was proposed in that hackathon around how to use staking for education. The next one is brand awareness and education initiative for African region. This is one by our ambassador in Africa, that is Ezra. Ezra has been participating with us since a long time ago, I think since the first months of Meta Pool, and he's now looking for fund this initiative where he's able to teach around DeFi education using Meta Pool in Africa. So, well, we have all the generals here, and we're happy to have this initiative in this round. Those are the initiatives. We want to share some important information around this coming voting round, which is the budget in Meta that we are redistributing. Right now, we have an accumulated that this amount of Meta came from the past voting round, that is close to 438,000 Meta tokens that are accumulated from past rounds. This means that this Meta wasn't distributed the past month or the past voting round, so we accumulated this for this round. Plus, additionally, we have the monthly buyback. The buyback program is announced since a couple of weeks ago, and you can see all the tracking in our site of stats.metapool.app. The monthly buyback is that all the fees that are generated by Meta Pool, those are in stNEAR, and we are using all these fees in stNEAR to buy back Meta for the people from the pool of Refinance. So we are like doing a monthly average buyback of Meta during every day of the month, just to have the amount that we are going to redistribute through the DAO. The current total buyback that is information that is public in our site in stats.metapool.app is that we have a total of close to 2,240,000 Meta tokens that has been in this buyback program. So we are active. So as you can see, there is a higher interest that the Meta can circulate around the ecosystem. All this information is public, and we are publishing transparency reports to start making all this easy to get for the community. And well, we expect by the end of the month have the final amount of Meta that we buy back, and this will be distributed among the initiatives that have enough votes to get funded. Also very important, we have the vote to earn with Meta Pool DAO. As mentioned, we are redistributing our fees. 50% goes for the initiatives that are being funded, and the other 50% goes for voters. Just if you have this in mind, we mean that we are not distributing all the 50% that goes for initiatives because maybe the initiatives didn't get enough votes, but we are accumulating this for coming rounds. But the other 50% that goes for voters, that's distributed the total amount in the month. So for participating in the vote to earn is as easy as voting Meta Pool DAO. The first thing that you need to do is to get Meta. You can get that through Refinance or another exchange that is available on NEAR protocol or even in Aurora. So you can get Meta tokens and start your Meta holding positions. The second one is earn voting power, lock in your Meta. So now once that you have your Meta, you can go to Meta Pool, metapool.app, section vote, section my power, and you can choose to lock your Meta tokens by starting by 30 days until 300 days in the way to get more voting power. So the more time that you lock your tokens, the more voting power you get. After, you can look at the voting options. Well, if we are talking right now about the initiatives that can be voted, we have another option for vote. And right now, what we have active is validators that you can also vote to redistribute an extra delegation for these validators. Or even if you are a validator, maybe you can be interested to participate in the voting rounds for distributing funds and after voting for your validator for getting these extra delegations. You can look at all these options in metapool.app, section vote, and you can see there the sections initiatives, validators, or Launchpad projects. Launchpad projects is inactive right now because we don't have any campaign active, but the other two ones, the other two have right now options to vote in initiatives and validators. And the fourth steps is vote. No more than that. You use your voting power and assign to a validator on an initiative, and based on that, you are participating in the vote to earn program, where we will redistribute these fees to all the voters. So we calculated a past APY of 23%. We are soon going to launch the full detail of which was the APY for the voters during the voting round number one. Just as alpha news, it was a very good APY for all the voters. So very excited to share that with you when all the infographics are ready for that. And well, if you participate in the new campaigns of the voting round number 2, you are also able to claim again your voting rewards. And until this point, I'm happy to share all this information, but also I want to know if there is any question that I can answer and we can give information about that. So question, I don't know, Francisco, do we have questions? Maybe you can send that on the Telegram group.
There is no question, Alan.
Okay. Perfect. If you don't have any questions, so you can always go to our channels. We are active on Telegram, on Discord. We are sharing our information, our information on Twitter. So you're happy to follow. You are invited to follow us. And if you have any question, feel free to ask at any moment. So for last, vote today, because it can be interesting to see all these initiatives yet funded by the decision of the community. So thank you very much, and see you soon in the next session of in which we will share more information about Meta Pool DAO. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.